Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Musings. I am talking this week about Phase 3 predictions for Marvel. We're going to be getting into DC's version of it later in this episode, but it immediately made me think of Marvel and what their intended plans are, because from what I'm understanding of the Marvel Phase 3 announcements, they're going to sort of do it like Oscar nominations, where they're going to come out and announce release dates and the movies attached to Phase 3 with a big sizzle reel, so to speak. First off, they have announced that Ant-Man, starring Paul Rudd, who's now officially going to be playing Scott Lang, Michael Douglas is going to be Hank Pym. Very interesting. That is now going to be taking the previous release date of Batman Superman in 2015, putting it right up against DC's Pan. It's not necessarily DC, but it's the movie company that's involved. So there's this really interesting back and forth war with release dates. Which film is going to do better? We want to put ours right up against yours on the same release day. Now 2016, Batman Superman's been pushed back, but that's going to face off against the very beginning of Phase 3 with Marvel. You're going to have Age of Ultron in 2015. And so I'm really thinking with Ant-Man, where do you go from there? What should be in? These are the questions a lot of the Marvel fans already have. The obvious choices right now are Black Panther, which, obviously they've made enough references to Wakanda needing the vibranium for Captain America's shield, things that the Stark family has been responsible for inventing in the film series. You've already established threads to the Wakandan kingdom, so he sort of is built into the package at some point down the line, right? So what are the ones that we don't know that we're getting but we'd like to see? My first pick, Tom's favorite Marvel character right now, Captain Marvel. Carol Danvers deserves her own film. She's getting an animated film, but she needs a real-life film. If they're going into space with Phase 3, you have to include Carol Danvers, a.k.a. Captain Marvel, which... Are they going to do the Enemy Within story arc? That would be really interesting. You could include Doctor Strange, a character that has to be introduced, because if you're going into space, Phase 3 should also include magic. If you're going to include magic, you're only talking about Stephen Strange. Doctor Strange would be such a perfect addition to the more esoteric releases that they're now starting to come out with, like your Guardians of the Galaxy. If you're going to have a talking tree and a talking raccoon, let's have a serious discussion about Marvel's magic side. I think a good mixture of introducing two characters together. Obviously, Netflix is going to have Iron Fist and Luke Cage. They're doing a full run of Luke Cage, but they deserve their own standalone film. You could tie Iron Fist in with a very simple, low-key martial arts film, but with Marvel powers and Marvel production quality and Pixar CGI. How awesome would that be if Marvel actually stuck their neck out a little bit and made a small film? That's just the thought. But you have so much other room. There's the I already said Captain Marvel. You have your Iron Fist, Luke Cage. What else is there? Just use your imagination a little bit. I can't help but want the more out there films, but you have to go with the bigger budget reaches. So what does that leave on the table? Are you going to have more Captain Americas? Obviously, they could try for a third. I don't know at this point if they should have a Thor 3, but obviously there's going to be a Thor 3. So you have to look at that as part of Phase 3 as well. But the things that really entice me are they're going to be willing to stick their neck out now, because the Marvel model has proven to be such a goldmine and such a wealth of ability to pick out titles, whether or not you think they're a big household name, and just they can be their own separate thing, but also tie into the Marvel universe. And at this point in Phase 3, you can do whatever you want. Phase 4. I can't even imagine. Tom brought that up before I started recording this, and my head's I couldn't even handle the idea of a Phase 4. Phase 3, I'm very excited to see, and we're going to be talking more about the inverse version of this with DC and Legendary Pictures as soon as I finish this. So I think I'm done now. These are my musings, and thank you very much for your time. Adios.